Educational Credential Assessment, or ECA, is used to verify that your foreign degree, diploma, or certificate is valid and equal to a Canadian degree. If you completed your education outside Canada, you need an assessment to be eligible for express entry or earn points for education you got outside Canada. You don't need an assessment for a Canadian degree, diploma, or certificate. And to earn points, your report must show that your completed foreign credential is equal to a completed Canadian high school or post-secondary credential. Generally, you only need one assessment for your highest level of education. For example, if you have a master's degree, you only need one assessment for that specific degree, and you don't need another assessment for your bachelor's degree. If you have 2 or more credentials, you need an assessment for each one. And to get full points for more than one credential, at least one of the credentials must be for 3 or more years of study. The order that you complete your credential doesn't affect your points. So if your post-secondary educational is not equal to a Canadian degree, you can get your secondary education assessed, which means you'll get points just for completing your secondary school. Keep in mind that you must get your assessment from an organization designated by IRCC in Canada. And after you submit your documents, they give you a report that tells you what your education is equal in Canada. So as of today that I'm recording this video, there are 5 designated organizations that you can use in Canada. Here is a list of them, but for the purpose of this video, we are going to get started with World Education Service, or WES in Canada, which I'm going to dive into in a few moments. Your report must show that your foreign credential is valid and equal to a completed Canadian secondary school or post-secondary credential. If it does, you must include the result and reference number in your express entry profile. If your report shows that your credential isn't equal to a completed Canadian credential, or the foreign educational institution is not recognized, you won't meet the education requirement under the Federal Skilled Workers Program, and you won't get any points for it. Now, this table has the full list of possible results for an educational credential assessment report, and it shows how many points you can earn under the comprehensive ranking system or Federal Skilled Worker Program points. First, we need to select a point system like Comprehensive Ranking System or Federal Skilled Worker Program and click on See Points. As you can see here, for example, a bachelor's degree has 120 CRS points for your express entry, or a 2-year associate degree has 98 points. Alright, now that you can find your education points based on your report, the next step would be to submit your ECA report. It says your report must be issued for immigration purposes by a designated organization. It must be issued on or after the date we designated the organization, and it must not be more than 5 years old on the date you submit your express entry profile or apply for permanent residence. Don't ask the designated organizations to send IRCC your report. So once you get your report, enter the results and the reference number into your express entry profile and keep your original documents, and get ready to upload the copies if they invite you to apply for permanent residence. Alright, now that you're familiar with the process, let's dive into the step-by-step process on how to apply for WES in Canada. So the first step is to go to wes.org/ca/ECA. I'll leave this link down in the description as well. As you can see, every educational assessment by WES has 3 steps. The first step is to submit your application and get a reference number. The second step is to send your documents like your marks, degree, or certificate. And the final step is to wait for WES to verify your credentials and send your ECA report. So let's go ahead and click on Get Started. As you can see, we have 3 options here: standard application, WES ECA application for IRCC, and ECA for Agri-Food Pilot. So what we want here is the second option, which is for immigration purposes. So let's click on Start Application. So the first step is to create a new account. We have to enter our first name, last name, and date of birth. Do you have a WES reference number? No. Choose a password, select a security question, and click on Create Account. So as you can see, there are 3 steps here: personal information, your education, and report recipients. The first fields are automatically filled, and you need to select your your gender as well as your phone number. This is the second step, which is the most important one, and you have to add your credentials here. Now select the country of your education, which is where you studied, institution type like university education. Next, we need to enter the name of our institution, name of diploma or certificate like Master in Business Studies, name of the credential, year awarded, and years attended, and click on Save. So we successfully added our master's degree credentials, but the next step is to add our bachelor's degree as well. So we are going to click on Add Another Credential and add our bachelor and go to the next step. All right, this is the final step, which is called Report Recipients. Here you should enter the recipients you want WES to send your evaluation report to. Obviously, the first recipient is you, and they are going to send you a copy of your WES credential report to your mailing address. And the second recipient is the institution or institutions that are receiving your report, like IRCC. It says, please add immigration institutions you want your report sent to. You may only add institutions from our pre-approved list. Each institution you will add results in an additional fee of $30 plus shipping and handling. Note, IRCC is added by default. This is a mandatory recipient and cannot be deleted. So you don't have to add IRCC here. So let's go ahead and click on Next. The standard processing time to receive a completed evaluation report is 20 business days after approval of documents and payment. If additional research is required, it will take longer. If we scroll down a little, we can see our available evaluation package, which explains the features and price of ECA report. For example, here our package includes ECA report, online PDF, ECA report for IRCC, official paper report, and electronic storage for your report for future use. So let's click on Next. All right, this is the required document checklist page, which is very important. You need a copy of your degree certificate. Make sure to don't send your original document. You also need your mark sheets or a statement of mark, and you have two options. Option one is you ask your university to send your documents directly to WES in a sealed envelope, and the second option is to get your marks from your university and send it by yourself, which has some strict rules. You can click on sealed envelope here, and it says to send your academic transcript to WES correctly, make sure they are in a sealed envelope with your institution name on it, and the seal, stamp, or signature of an official officer at the institution overlaps the back flap of the sealed envelope as shown in the example below. This is the example here. The front should be like this in an official envelope with WES reference number above address, and the back of the envelope should be sealed or stamped, and a signature, which is very typical format, and your university or institution is definitely familiar with this format. You can click here to download and complete your academic records request form, which help you to request your documents. As you can see, it says this form is provided to facilitate the release of your academic records by your institution, and you are responsible for contacting your university directly. So you need to enter your personal information here, and the next section is for authorized officials. If you scroll down, you can see that we have a list of required documents and a few tips and tricks you must know before sending your documents. For example, make sure your transcripts are complete and your WES reference number is all on envelopes. It says don't send photocopies of transcripts, original documents, and documents regarding your work experience. So this is the address of World Educational Service in Canada, which is in Ontario. Also keep in mind that all documents must be mailed to WES and they don't accept in-person deliveries. Make sure to include your reference number, which they gave you earlier, because if you forget to write the reference number, chances are high that they don't review that envelope. On the next page, we have to review our information, and once you make sure that all the information is correct, check these acknowledgements and go to the final step, which is to select a payment method and pay your fees. If you have any questions, make sure to comment below and I'll try my best to help you out. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Now make sure to go ahead and watch one of these videos next because you don't want to miss them. As always, thanks for watching and see you in the next video.